Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for a baseball card episode today. Going to take a look through this stack of all baseball that's in my collection. I've never shown any of these cards on the channel before. Some I've had a while, some are brand new, but I want to show them all off here for the first time before I get them filed away. We're going to see some modern, some vintage, and at the end we're going to look at some really unique cards that you just don't see often that are among my favorites to collect. Featuring some all-time greats of the game. So let's get right down to it. First card in the stack is actually one that I've had for quite a while. It is the 2015 Topps Mookie Betts. Now this is a second-year card. His rookie came in 2014 Topps Update. So this is his first card in a non-update traditional flagship set. Has the Future Stars designation, which in Mookie's case has turned out to be true. And he's having another great year, or was prior to his injury. Looks like he's actually going to return possibly as early as next week. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. And what's cool about this one, this is a parallel known as Snow Camo. I think they only did these this 1 year in 2015, but obviously has that recognizable kind of light blue camouflage border and is serial numbered to 99 copies. So this is probably one that I should upload into a one-touch potentially, and maybe in the future submit for grading. Really sneaky, awesome second-year Betts there, numbered to 99. Then we have another parallel numbered under 100, this time from the 2023 flagship release. I was able to track down the Clayton Kershaw Independence Day. I've talked about these many times on the channel here, so I'll keep it brief, but always numbered to 76. One of my favorite modern parallels. Kershaw, a highly collected individual. So there's a lot of competition out there for his cards, and they tend to get, pretty good return in the secondary market. And that's why I don't own, very many Clayton Kershaw cards. And so I was happy to finally get my first Independence Day of Clayton as he kind of winds down his career. And just a nice addition to my overall Independence Day collection, which is a parallel that I'm always looking to add. I've mentioned before, that's not my favorite year of the parallel. I get it. The 2024s are much nicer, but got that at a price point where, especially being a Kershaw, I just couldn't resist picking up that card. And then let's do a little bit of vintage. This is going to be kind of a quicker portion of the video, but I showed recently, maybe a few episodes back, kind of a handful of 1955 Topps cards that I've accumulated over the years. And I have another handful here. And the story here, which I mentioned the last time around, I've just kind of slowly been accumulating these. I've been back collecting as an adult now for between 15 and 20 years. And during that time, I would browse around on ComC, just looking at, cheapest possible singles from the 55 Topps set. And every so often I would grab one or two, oftentimes for like $1 or $1.50. And over time I've built up a decent number of them. And I have this batch here, which is, similar to the last one, just some cards that I have never shown off here on YouTube. Look at that hat on Leo Kiley. That is a high hat there. These are all in probably like VG to EX condition. I try not to buy any that are, ripped in half or have giant paper loss on the back or anything like that. They're all intact, legible. Some like this one are pretty OC. Like I had one like this in the last rummage. I would like to replace this Chuck Staub because even for or Staubs, apologies, even for a common, this is a little bit below what I'd look for. But yeah, just cheap pickups. And over time, I started to realize, with just barely over 200 cards on the checklist for this set, was really working my way towards the complete set almost by accident. There's another really OC one there, Bob Kennedy. And so what I've done is over time, I've just never gotten rid of any of these. I've never sold any of them. I've just let them slowly accumulate and snowball in my boxes. And I'm at the point now where I just crossed as far as what I have tracked in tcdb.com, where I track my collection, including everything that we're seeing in this video. I have now passed the 50% complete mark on this set. And as I've mentioned before and shown before, I'm fortunate enough to have the Sandy Koufax and the Roberto Clemente, which are the two toughest rookies on the checklist and two of the more expensive cards overall. I do still need the Willie Mays, the Harmon Killebrew rookie, some other tough cards, but I may just get there someday. And in the meantime, I want to file these away. Here's the worst condition one I have by far. I may have a nicer copy of this somewhere, but Spook Jacobs. Love that card. This one is really, really beat. Like way worse shape than all the other ones in my sort of half-ass set build here. But yeah, still good enough to hang on to for now. I love the nickname. Just a couple more here. Thornton Kipper. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I do have my eyes set on a Willie Mays from this release. It's arguably the biggest card that I'm still missing, dollar-wise, or in terms of what it would cost me to acquire it. And I do love Willie Mays and have a few other vintage Mays cards. So that's one I'd like to pick up. Not a cheap card, one that I will have to plan for and maybe sell a couple things to kind of help ease the pain of. But hopefully that's one that I can land, maybe say within the next calendar year, and really take another big step forward on that set. So there's some 55 tops. And then let's close out the video with, I have 4 of them here. One I've shown before, but I brought it out just as an example. And we're going to look at 3 new ones. And here's the one I've shown before. So this is a buyback card. So what this is, in 2015, for the Allen and Ginter release, it was the 10th year of Allen and Ginter as a set, which began back in 2006. And to celebrate that, Topps did a buyback program. So they bought back both full-sized and mini Allen and Ginter cards from the first 9 years of its run, and they stamped them with these 10th anniversary issue foil stamps and then reissued them as buybacks a second time around. I love the full-size ones, but I really love these minis because they took the extra step of not only stamping it, but encasing it in a frame. You can see here, Allen and Ginter 2015 frame that makes it the same size as a full-size card. And just the way these look, these framed mini cards, they're just absolutely gorgeous. I was so pumped to find that Jackie Robinson maybe about a year ago, or maybe it might have been 6 months ago now. Got that one on ComC actually. And in the time since, I've been looking for these both before and after that. But I've landed 3 recently to go with that Jackie that features some really, really big names and folks that I love collecting in the vintage world. Don't exactly have all of these guys represented in my vintage collection, but it's great to add these pretty rare modern cards of them as well. So the second one of 4 that I have to show after that Jackie, this one just showed up in the mailbox today, the day that I'm filming this. Ted Williams. How awesome is that? This was a 2014 Allen and Ginter mini initially, bought back, stamped, and then issued in 2015 A&G. Whereas the Jackie back here was a 2012 mini initially the first time around. I don't really care what year I find these players from. These are really, really scarce and hard to find, period. So you can't be that picky. I just like getting as many big name players like this as I can represented in the little collection and run that I have going of these now. And this Ted Williams is another one that I scooped on ComC and just had this shipped to my door. As I mentioned, got it today. Had a graded card in my ComC inventory that I wanted to send to a buddy. So I rush shipped that one home, and I included Ted Williams there alongside it for an additional 50 cents, just to prevent having to wait, 3 to 6 months to get that Teddy. So 2 greats there. And then the other 2 that I have, I won on eBay. And I think I have some competition out there for these because while they weren't expensive cards at all, they were under $50 each, and I think one was even under $25. They still went for more than I expected them to, but thankfully I had set some pretty strong bids because I really wanted to win both of these. I've got 1 hitter and 1 pitcher. We'll do the hitter first. Jolton Joe DiMaggio. Now this is originally, let me knock it a little to the left here. This is originally a 2012 mini, same as the Jackie Robinson. And again, reissued, stamped and reissued for that 2015 program. So it looks great. Sorry about the glare as I shuffle the cards here, but it looks great alongside Jackie. Just really, really honored to have that DiMaggio. These are not, like I said, not cards that I bought as an investment or due to their financial value or perceived financial value or anything like that. I just really love buybacks. I love the concept of a card that was twice pack issued. In the case of this Joe DiMaggio, somebody pulled that from a pack in 2012 And then someone pulled this frame version, you know, from a pack all over again 3 years later. And I just really enjoy that concept. These are not eligible for my buyback Franken set. I keep that to tops only. And they're pretty valuable too. So I've given them the one-touch treatment. I think they look great. And then the last card for today's episode, we'll wrap it up here. I won this from the same seller as the Joe D at the same time. And I think this was the one that went for even a little more than the Joe D that I was kind of surprised by, but was fortunate enough to win the Cy Young. And this one originally was a 2008 Allen and Ginter, which I really love because I like the first maybe 3 to 4 years of Allen and Ginter where they had a really basic, very minimalist design to the cards. Cy Young is the one player in today's video that I don't actually have a playing era card of. So my statement earlier about, you know, adding some of these tougher new cards or modern cards to my collection of guys that I already have vintage cards of, that applies to the first 3 that we saw here. Someday I would love to add a vintage Cy Young card to the collection. I would hope to eventually in my collecting lifetime. But for now, this may represent my favorite Cy Young card in my collection. I love the scarcity of this. I know not everybody is into these, but I really enjoy cards where even if you wanted to, and even if you had an unlimited bankroll, you couldn't just get on the internet and buy a copy of this right now. There just is not one available. I don't know how many exist out there, but definitely not too many. And I just enjoy finding unique editions like that, especially featuring the greats of the game. It's going to take me many years, maybe decades, to save up and eventually get a playing era Cy Young. But in the meantime, for a small fraction of that price, I have something unique here that you won't find in too many other baseball card collections, and that is good enough for me. So that's it. That's the final card in today's video. Didn't intend for this to go 12 minutes, but saw some pretty cool stuff on both the vintage and the modern front. Hope you enjoyed it. Truly appreciate your time. As I always say, I know there is a lot of hobby content out there, and so I'm very grateful for any of your time that you spend here on the channel. I'll be back very soon with some more content, and until then, keep on enjoying the hobby. Take care.